The Coonhound Collective podcast is brought to you by CZ Welding and Custom Dog Boxes. Dog boxes built by hunters, for hunters. Check these guys out today. This is your host, Jason Snellgrove, and I will be your guide as we journey down the road to pleasure hunt or hitting the long trail to those great comp hunts. This is the Coonhound Collective podcast. Okay, since the recording of our video, we have had some sponsors reach out to us, step up, and really help us out in a big way here. And we just want to make sure we give them some credit and some due. So our first sponsor that stepped up is Mississippi Blue Tick Thunder Kennels and Transportation. If you're looking for a dog hauler that will guarantee a clean dog on arrival and that takes care of your dog along the way, look no further than Mississippi Blue Tick Thunder Kennels and Transportation. Roy Clint Smith has personally hauled dogs for us and has done a great job, and he's the only dog hauler that we recommend. Give him a call at 662-263-6153. Here's another sponsor that has stepped up to really help us out, and we're really excited about this partnership too with this sponsor. It's the Pride Pet Food Company. They've been manufacturing dog food for over 30 years. Pride Dog Food is giving back to those who support them through donations and sponsorships for sporting and working dog events. So if you're out there and you're thinking about swapping to a different dog food brand, give Pride Dog Food a look. They're stepping up and they're sponsoring different dog and working dog events, and we definitely want to take care of the people that are taking care of the sport that we enjoy. So we want to thank Pride Dog Food for what they're doing for KOKC and stepping up in a big way to help us out and help put on this great event that we're going to have in Batesville, Mississippi. Welcome to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. Today we're going to be talking Out Kennel Club. As you've probably seen our video on Facebook, some of y'all following us on Facebook, and I have my three partners here, David Bradley, Chuck Henson, Brett Stevens. How's it going, guys?
Good.
So we've released a video kind of giving a brief overview of what we're doing here with the Out Kennel Club. This podcast is going to kind of go a little bit more in depth, some rules, some of the plans that we have for this, and kind of how we're going to hold these events and kind of what you can expect. And each one of us has a few things we're going to talk about when we get into that part of it. But before we dive off into what all is involved with the Out Kennel Club, first and foremost, I think we all four sitting here agree that this is no dig or no bash against any other kennel club out there. We all support them. And Chuck, I think you had a few things that you wanted to talk about there. So let's go ahead and discuss that, because we want to put that out there first and foremost.
Yeah, you asked me about it being a big concern of mine, because I know with us doing this, it'll take up a lot of time. And, we all love to hunt ourselves. And, I hunt a lot of UKC and had a lot of great experiences with them. And I plan on continuing to do that. I love the Winter Classic coming here to Batesville, and us all going to Autumn Oaks and English Days, and also the UKC World Hunt. It's always a big enjoyment to go to those. I look forward to all of those four major events myself. As far as PKC, I haven't hunted a lot of PKC. I know, David, you've hunted a lot more than I have on the PKC side. But my experience with PKC, being able to guide here like I have in Batesville, when they come and brought the truck hunt here, I had met a lot of guys. It was a really good experience, watching those level of dogs compete. And then like I said, you got pro sport out there. Once I get a dog that I feel like is on that kind of level, I plan on supporting pro sport and also looking forward to hunting with those guys. Unfortunately, I hadn't got a dog on that level yet. I have had in the past, but I wasn't where I could go. And, that's a lot of things. As I'm getting older, I plan on supporting all of those clubs as well, and then working hard with our club here.
Yeah, and really, I think what we're doing here is completely different from what they're doing, but it's also going to give hunters out there an opportunity to hunt a different style hunt than what they've ever been used to hunting. And David, I know you've actually probably been doing more of this one-on-one style hunting longer than, well, for sure me, but than some of the rest of us here. And just talk about some of the experiences that you've had just between you and some guys local there doing some of the one-on-one.
Oh man, I guess about 5 years ago, we started doing some one-on-one hunts down around where I live, Batesville, Mississippi, and we really enjoyed it. We got competitive with it. I hunted against Joshua Stinson, Chance Elkins, Kelly Reed. A bunch of us just got together. Matter of fact, I got an update a while ago. 1 year today, we were doing a one-on-one, and I like it. I mean, I really like it. It's competitive. You ain't got a lot of commotion going on in there. It's just two dogs, two people. It takes a lot of the stuff out of the way. Yeah. And when you get down as far as competition hunts on, I mean, it's you ain't got to beat but one dog to advance. Yeah. I mean, how many times you go to a hunt and you draw a 3-dog cast and your buddy's like, man, you lucky sucker. Oh, you draw a 3-dog cast. Yeah. So a one-on-one cast, your odds are in your favor a lot better than a 4-dog cast.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the benefit we're going to bring. You only have to beat one dog at a time. There's not any other dogs. And we're gonna jump into some rules here in just a few minutes and kind of hit the highlights. That we are going to post these rules over on our Facebook page. And just so you know, this is new, and we all four have spent a heap of time putting this stuff together and trying to get rules that were fair for everybody, for the hunter, for the dog. And this is about the dog out hunting and the best dog to win. That's what we want in the end. And these rules may be subject to change as we see things that would benefit the hunter or the dog. And as we put this first event on, I'm sure we're going to see things when this is over that, hey, we should have done this, the rules should have been read this way. So just keep that in mind. These are our first set of rules that, like I said, we've worked over a year on these things, trying to get them right, asking people, getting input. So just keep that in mind that they are subject to change. And with that being said, Brett, you were gonna talk a little bit about our goal for helping the local club, because as we all know, the local club is the heartbeat of competition coon hunting, whether we want to believe it or not. If you don't have the local club, you're not going to have the larger events. So, Brett, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's right. There's, you see it on either social media or just guys talking at the coon hunts and stuff that, I mean, we've had a few in our neck of the woods, that, hey, so-and-so had to close their doors or they're fixing to close down, and they're clubs that a lot of people like to go to and stuff, and it's just they're just either barely getting by or they can't afford to operate due to fees or that they have to pay out, or rent. Our rent went up at our place, so it just, with clubs closing the doors, it's gonna allow a competition sport of coon hunting to grow and flourish like that it really needs to. So with our format and the way that we're going to do things is we're not going to charge clubs to hold a hunt. We're gonna pay you. So we're hoping that we can benefit clubs and help you guys out. There's a lot of clubs out there that are real successful and more than others, but that's just going to be the way it's going to be. Some are just going to do better than others, but we want to help these clubs out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We got to keep the clubs going. So as all of us sitting here, like Chuck's already said, we're going to support those other kennel clubs, and if those local clubs can't hold events because they can't keep their doors open, we won't have anything to hunt in. So we're wanting to definitely step in and try to be a avenue for revenue for the local club. And we're not by no means trying to jump out there and put a bunch of these on right away. But hey, if you're a club and you think you're interested in trying to help us put on one of these events, because one of us, two of us, or all four of us will be at the event. But if you're a club out there and you're interested, you think you're interested in trying to hold these, you want more information, you can reach out to one of the four of us there on the Facebook page, and one of us will get back with you and try to get you some information and see if it's a good fit for both of us, because that's what we want. We want to be able to help y'all, and we want to be able to put on a good quality event that has a place where it's got good hunting. We got good guides, good judges, etc.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, with our KOKC events, we're going to be having non-hunting judges and guides for every event. There's not going to be ever a two-dog cast out there where one of the guys that are out there is judging. That's not going to happen. We're going to have non-hunting judges, period. That's the only way this is going to work. That's fair for everybody. Those judges will be drawn at random for each cast, and that stuff will be done on the day of the grounds.
And Jason, and all the guides and the judges will be paid. They'll all be paid, judges and guides.
Yeah, we're going to make sure we take care of those guys, because we want judges out there that are going to enforce the rules. It's going to be fair to everybody, and that are not going to be pushovers, that are willing to stand up. And guys, if you draw a judge and he minuses your dog or scratch your dog, hey, it is what it is. It happens to us all. So you just take it and you roll on with it. That's what we want. We want judges to be fair, because our goal is the best dog win each one of these hunts. So you can work your way through the bracket. Also, we talked about helping the local clubs, and we're going to get into some entry fee stuff and payout stuff here in a minute on this first hunt. But we also, us four sitting here, are everyday working guys. We all work a job. None of us, well, at least I don't think none of us is millionaires. I know my pocketbook ain't a millionaire. But so we can't fork out big money to go hunt. So what we're going to try to do to help people like us that want to try to get in on a hunt like this, we're going to offer some spin wheel raffle entries. And what that's going to entail, at least for this first hunt, we may do more later, we may do less, we don't know. But for this first hunt, we're gonna take two of the entries. It's going to be a 16 dog entry. We're going to take two of the entries, and those entries are going to be raffled off. They're on Facebook. We're going to put your name on a spin wheel. We're going to spin it, and we're going to draw. So I think, and I may misquote here, but you'll know when it goes live. So if I do, you just have to forgive me. But I think it's going to be somewhere around the $50 range is what we're going to raffle these off for a piece, and per person for so many spots. I think is what we decided to do. And when we do that, your name's going to go on spin wheel. We're going to spin it, and we're going to draw that guy's name. So you have an opportunity to be able to get in on this hunt for $50 to win an entry fee. So I think that's going to help every working man out there. I know it helps me. What do y'all guys think? Hey guys, this is Jason. Hey, I wanted to jump in here real quick and interject something here. We didn't want this to sound like that we were doing these spin wheel entries for some of us to get in. So what we wanted to clarify was, at this time, none of us are going to be hunting in these events. We're not going to be buying a spin wheel entry to try to get into one of the events. This is all going to be for you all and for the hunters. We just really wanted to clarify that, make sure that was understood, that none of us four would be hunting in this event, and for the foreseeable future we will not be hunting in our own events. But there may come a time later on as this thing grows that we may start hunting in them. But the spin wheel entries are to help the everyday hunter out, the people out there that are pleasure hunting, that has that good dog out behind the barn that may want to take a chance at trying to win an entry. And we just want to make sure we clarify that.
There's a lot of dogs out there, and guys that own some really, really nice dogs that just doesn't have enough, or doesn't have the money to afford a big entry fee. And like you said, a lot of us are that way. So this is going to give guys like us, an opportunity to spend a small amount at a chance. At $50 for a spot to raffle off, you'll spend more than $50, going to any hunt, anywhere. So, on those weeks that maybe you wasn't going to go hit a PKC hunt or a UKC hunt, you might want to just buy a raffle entry for this one.
Yeah.
So, and if if a guy was fortunate enough to spend $50 and got one entry, like for this particular event we're holding, that'd be a big deal to win that. If you invested $50 and got a chance to hunt for the purse that we're hunting for here, and the entry fee, it's kind of pennies on the dollar for an entry. So it's a great deal.
Yeah. Well, while you're on that, let's go ahead and let's jump into that entry fee and kind of some payouts, and let's talk some more details than what we went over on the video there of what we're going to do there.
Okay, so this first event that we'd mentioned is going to be held here in Batesville, Mississippi, June the 2nd and the 3rd. It's going to be a 2-night event. It's going to be a $2,500 entry fee. So the first place is going to pay $20,000. Cast winners, we've all talked about this over and over. And, and like you said, we've talked to a lot of guys, different people about the rules and got people's thoughts and stuff on different things. And this is one of them we kept coming back to, that we're going to pay every cast winner on this event $500. Mm-hmm. So if you lose, you're going to get knocked out. If you win, you'll advance, and you'll make $500. Go into the next bracket. You may win 500 and lose. You're knocked out. That guy's going to win 500 on the cast. If you continue on through and win this whole event on every cast, the guy that wins first place is going to make $21,500.
Yep.
Second place, third place, and fourth place, they're all going to win their cast win money, and plus they're going to win a new light. So that's how that's going to break down for this particular event.
Yeah, and in that the 16 dog, 2 of those entries will be those raffle entries that we previously talked about. And in that, with the 16 dogs, when you pay your entry, whenever we contact you and you pay your entry, and we draw the people that win the raffle entry, one of our sponsors is CZ Welding Custom Dog Boxes. Y'all have heard me talk about Nathan Kaufman and the stuff that he does for the coon hunting community here on the podcast numerous times. There's no need for me to go in detail, but Nathan has stepped up in a big way here to help us out. We really appreciate what Nathan is doing for us. Your name is going in a drawing, and somebody, one of the 16 entrants to this hunt, is going to walk away with a brand new CZ custom dog box at this event. Guys, I don't think I can't say enough good about Nathan. I just appreciate him stepping up.
I agree, and I want to give thanks to CZ Custom Dog Boxes and Sun Spotlights for stepping up and helping out with this, and a few others coming on. We'll mention them later.
Yeah. And Chuck, let's talk about the venue. We're in Batesville, Mississippi. Like Brent said, that's where we're going to have this hunt, and we're going to talk about some other stuff and some other location stuff that we have some ideas on where to hold some of these hunts. And hey, maybe you're listening to this and you're from that local area. When we get to those spots, you can reach out to us, have your club reach out to us if it works. But we've got this venue for this first one secured, and I want to make sure we give thanks where thanks is due there for the guy that owns this venue allowing us to be here.
Yeah, man, Tyler's been a blessing to me. Tyler Moore, he's owner at Moore Brothers Automotive in Oxford, Mississippi, and I think they've got another place in Illinois. I'm not real sure where. But Tyler's been a blessing to me. He works part-time with us on the sheriff's department here. He's just a good guy. Tyler went through a heart transplant here just a while back. He just came home day before yesterday, and it's just a blessing to have him back here. I gave him a call, and as always, he was real helpful. Told us he would love to have that event, come hang out with us. I can't thank Tyler and his family enough. And what y'all were saying a while ago, Jason, about, and Brett mentioned it, like in helping the clubs, and I was just sitting here thinking about it. It's a lot of clubs that it's a lot more hunters in different areas than there are in some areas, and some of these little clubs are holding on. You know, it's a dying sport out there, and that's one thing that I'm so grateful to try to get this going, to keep it going, and also support the other kennel clubs as well. But by helping them, you know, just because they have a small amount of people, they may have a great hunting area where we can go out and maybe they contact us or we can go there. And I've just got a few places in mind, like to once we grow and things continue to, you know, for us, where we build and have more hunts per year. But like Effingham, Illinois, David and I talked about down at his home place in Lucedale, Mississippi. He's got a great place down there. Southwest Missouri on the Oklahoma line. You got Cold Camp, Missouri, which I think is a great place. Maybe even take a hunt up to South Carolina. I think we had also discussed by going to these locations, some of us will also, one or two of us will be at those events as well. And I'm just looking forward to being able to, you know, grow and be able to move to these places where people could, you know, won't have to travel so far. We're gonna move around.
Yeah, you know, Chuck, you were talking about some of the vision we have for the future of this and some of the locations, and I just want to touch on something. You know, yeah, $2,500 is a big entry fee, and we're paying out a big money, but you know, we have to make some money on these events because we have a vision for the future of where we're going to go. We're going to be traveling, and also when you look at that. The piece of the pie that we're going to be putting back into this to make this thing go and put on other events is not very big because we're going to be feeding people. We're going to be taking care of guides, judges, clubs, venues. There's travel expenses for us. Like we said before, we're all working people, and you know, to make this go, we definitely have to work together, the four of us, and so. You know, we are definitely in this for the hunter. We're in this for the clubs, and we're gonna try to put on the best event that you've ever been to. I mean, we've all been to some different events, and we've seen things. There's great events put on all over the country, and I guarantee you they cost money to be put on. And we want to do that, and we want to do it on top-notch level, and that takes money. So we just want to put that out there up front. That way all the questions are answered, you know, in the beginning. So, you know, we hope it don't, as this thing starts going and we build up steam, it don't take us as long to get to the next point. But, you know, we have plans for the future, and those plans cost money. So anyway, I wanted to touch on that while Chuck was talking about some of the locations that we had ideas in our head that we've all talked about to hold some of these events to be able to travel to. I think one thing that, you know, I'm sure we're going to get questions about, and we talked about, we're going to post the rules on the Facebook page for everybody to be able to see. You'll be able to print them off, but we have a few rules here that we definitely want to highlight and make sure we get out there so you can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at, and the first thing that I think we need to talk about here is our strike rule. And in our strike rule, you know, we're gonna be just like it, pretty much every other kennel club. We're gonna have two dogs. You're gonna strike for 100. The second dog's gonna go in for 75. When dogs are cast together, and that's the key words there. When dogs are cast together. I know for me, because we've had conversation about this, and I know these other three guys sitting here has had the same thing, especially in today's world of coon hunting. Most of the time, dogs are not together. They're split. Last night, we hunted, and we wasn't split very far, but we were split apart. So when you pull those dogs off a tree and they're separate, they're not together. So you got dog A a half a mile to the east, and you got dog B a quarter mile to the west, and you go to dog A and you pull that dog off the tree. When you recast that dog will go back in for its own strike point. So it will go back in for 100. Same with dog B. When you leave that dog, you walk over there, score that tree, you pull dog B off, that dog will go in, he will carry his own strike points. Each dog is accountable for their own strike. So yeah, and that's the reason why we're paying non-hunted judges, and they will be taking care of keeping the time. That's the reason why we're paying those guys to do a good job for us and to keep up with that stuff, so we can be fair to the dog that's out there. We want the best dog to win this hunt, and if you got dogs, and I think y'all agree, if we got dogs that are separated by half a mile or a mile in separate directions, and we recut them, most of the time them dogs ain't running the same coon.
That's right.
And it kind of helps out on the other dog when you hunt against one. I know it happens all the time. I see it all the time. You cut loose, and first thing out the gate, they strike the dog on the Bible for 100. You know, if each dog's accountable for his own strike, it helps the dog that is a low. See, I own one. My dog, she's a third to last strike dog. So if I can get back in for 100 on, and she's going to be by herself. If I can get back in for 100 on the next cut, so that's going to help me a lot on getting my points on the card,
Yeah.
One thing that was kind of hard for us all to kind of wrap our mind around when we was talking to each other a lot, me and Chuck talked, and we was, I kind of laughed because we poke at each other a lot, and I told him, I said, whoa, you got to realize this is two dogs. When we was talking scenarios and stuff, it's like, no, this is two dogs. So we have hunted so long that
We've been trained.
we have, or your mind automatically thinks about four dogs, and so the format's going to be a little different, somewhat simpler, because you don't have two other dogs to be judged, or to not, maybe worry is not the right word, but you won't have to worry about two other dogs. So it's the format is, I think, even for myself, it took me a while to train my brain to think that, wait a minute, this scoring situation is going to be a little different because there is only two dogs here.
Yeah.
So that's just something that I want to throw in.
Yeah, you only got to beat the dog that is with you to advance. I mean, you just got to beat one dog.
Yeah. And that's the thing, whenever we get these rules posted and you're going through there, you cannot read these rules that we have and think more than two dogs in a cast, because that's the way it's going to be. You'll never have more than two dogs in a cast. You'll always have a non-hunting judge. So these rules are set up for that, to the best of our ability. And I mean, we truly tried. We played devil's advocate. We
made a lot of phone calls.
I
made several phone calls to several different guys, and even while hunting around home, and we played some scenarios out and stuff. And it takes a little bit to train your mind to, there's not another dog, and it's a little bit different, but it's nothing that nobody can't pick up.
Yeah, for sure.
And take off with, because we got. Are you going to talk about the tree?
Yeah, go ahead.
Our tree points are going to be 125 for first tree and 75 for second tree. The tree's going to be closed after 2 minutes. I don't know if you want to hit on that, right now or not, but we can delve into them all a little bit separate later if you want. Shine time is going to be 5 minutes. We're going to have a stationary rule of 5. And a big one that a lot of people like to talk about is whether or not it's going to be a leash lock or not. There will be no leash lock. Okay, so a handler may recast his dog after any amount of time that they choose to, as long as you notify the judge before the dog's recast.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I got on that one there. But
And you know, in that, you know, I thought about that the other night. I was hunting in a UKC hunt, and the guy that was winning was leading by 50, and we pulled off a tree with 3 minutes left, and you know, they kind of a little squabble there because the guy that was leading, of course, he didn't want to recut. We was a long way from the truck, and me, if I'm taking a dog that's losing by 50, I'm cutting. But you know, if you pull off that tree and you think, yeah, you know, I'm gonna keep him on a leash, and you walk 50 yards and decide, no, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and cut him so I can tote my own strike. That's totally up to you. The only thing that we're requiring you to do, you have to notify the judge before you recut that dog. We just want that judge to know, because he's going to have to be running time, and and if you recut that dog and you don't notify the judge, there's going to be consequences for that. So you need to make sure you read through the rules and just keep it in your mind that this is 2 dogs, and the dogs are performing on their own for the most part, and we want the best dog to win the cast. Every cast, we want the best dog to win. So we've hit on a lot of stuff here. Let's talk about treeing off game, running off game. Go ahead.
the way we're going to do this is you're not going to be scratched for off game. You're only going to be minused. So when we'd all talked about this, and this was one thing that I'd hit up and talked about with a few other guys also. You know, for example, you got a dog A and dog B, and dog A trees a coon, and dog B trees a circle or whatever. You know, you can make the scenario whatever you want, and then dog A trees a second coon. Mm-hmm. Dog B may go in there and, you know, have another circle tree, or even have another coon on the second turnout on there. And then dog A just up and trees a possum. This other dog is going to win this is what I say, he's going to win on a technicality. So instead of scratching a dog, we kind of want dogs to be able to compete. We don't want just up and just scratch guys for just anything, just to get them out of the game. We want these guys to be able to compete the full amount of the time that they can. Now we are going to have it, you are going to be able to minus out. So you will be scratched if you minus out. So, you know, if your dog keeps making mistakes, you are going to minus out. There comes a point to where, you know. But
in this gives you an opportunity. If your dog gets in there and makes a mistake, but then looks good on 3 more trees, you can pull yourself out of a hole.
Right.
Yeah, it's all about what dog trees the most coon.
Yeah.
That's right. And you know, you are hunting against the guy in your cast. All you have to be worried about is beating the guy in your cast,
right.
Because if you don't beat him, you're not going to advance.
Right.
It doesn't matter what anybody else does in the other cast.
Yeah. Yeah, and while you're talking about cast, the cast are also, we're going to require the cast to stay together in these events. We want everybody there. That way there's no questions, and if there is questions, everybody's there. They can all look at it and get it resolved quickly and get back to hunting. That way we're not wasting hunting time sitting there drawing about something that we should just be moving on about. The judge will be there. He can know what's going on, and there ain't no squabbling there. One of the things that is probably, I don't know, probably is going to be the biggest difference between any other registry, kennel club out there that holds events, you know, is we are going to implement where you can drive to dogs that are treed. I know we've talked about this several times, and we're gonna briefly go through this, and you can read about it through the rules, and we can try to discuss it more. And when we hold this event, we're going to have a judges meeting, and then we're going to have a handler and judges meeting together, and kind of try to clarify any questions anybody has. But in general, both dogs have to be treed to start with. Second, before that cast starts to the woods and hunts, both handlers and the judge have to agree that, hey, if dogs get in there and they get treed deep, let's drive to them. And my biggest thing for this, and I'll shut up, let y'all put y'all's 2 cents in, but my biggest thing for this is a hunting event. Once a dog is treed, that dog, in its mind, its hunting is over. It's treating. It's telling you, hey, I found what you had me out here looking for, and I want to be able to get to that dog as quick as possible and be able to get my dog recut off that tree so he is, quote unquote, back out hunting. So I have the best opportunity to get a score that I can win with. So anyway, I know we've talked about this together. So what's y'all's thoughts?
And my biggest thought on it is I really like that rule, because I know a lot of the older guys that like to comp hunt that just can't get around as good as some of the younger guys can anymore. And that might bring back some of the older hunters that can get in there that can't get around as good as some of the younger hunters. There's a lot of times you go to these double headers, you ain't got but a 1 hour hunt. And a lot of times you can't make but one tree in that hour if they split so far apart. So if you can drive, and this is going to be a 90-minute cast, 2 rounds, we're going to do 90-minute cast. It allows you a little more time for a little more hunting. So if your dog does make a mistake, you got a little more time to try to overcome it.
Right.
Driving to them is not going to hurt another cast either. It's not going to have any bearing on how anybody else in the other cast is going to advance.
Right.
So, if I draw you're hunting in this thing, I've got to beat you, or I'm not going to advance, so it don't matter. So it's not like that it's going to be anybody's going to have have something over on another cast, to benefit from anymore, know.
Yeah.
I want to speak on something David just spoke about. It's been a lot of hunts like this year at the Winter Classic. A lot of guys that I look up to that are older now that I hunted with when I was pretty much a teenager, child. I hear a lot of them make the comment that, hey, I said, you hunting tonight? And they say, no, I ain't able to keep up with these younger guys.
I hear it all the time.
Well, those guys that I look up to that I'm speaking about, I know they're packing a nice hound, and I think this would be an opportunity for them to come out and just that peace of mind knowing that they don't have to walk a half a mile or a mile to a dog treat in there. If the terrain allows them to drive to this location where the dog is treed, I think it gives the older hunters a great opportunity to be able to participate in these hunts.
Right.
I'm getting older myself. I don't think I'd like it.
Yeah. Well,
especially in my neighborhood.
Where me and you hunt at up there for sure. They say pull your dog off, walk a minute, and I'm just telling you, there's places I pulled a dog off, and thankfully my dogs, I don't have to walk them a minute. I can cut them right off the tree. But I've had dogs in the past that would go back if you didn't get far enough away, and I'm just telling you, in the terrain that we're in, you ain't getting very far in a minute. It's some rough country, and it's tough on me myself, and it's definitely tougher on older people. I hear, just like what you said, Chuck, I hear people all the time at hunts, hey, you hunting? No, I just can't keep up with them guys anymore. It's just too much for me to keep on. And we're wanting to bring everybody into this, and we want to make it fair for everybody. And that's, we talked about this, and we know nobody else does this, but we thought this would be the best way to bring it in. And like I said, if you got questions about it, you can message us. We'll try to answer them.
Another thing is, it would be hard to, nobody else does it because of 4-dog cast. It's a lot hard. It would be a lot harder to pull that off in a 4-dog cast. So
right.
if you're not gonna drive to them unless both dogs are declared treat, there's gonna be a lot more times than not that in a 4-dog cast, all 4 dogs aren't gonna be treated at the same time to be able to do this and pull this off. So
okay. Couple of things I want to hit on real quick. All entries for our KOKC events, all entries no matter where the hunt's held, not just here, but all entries will be pre-entries. They'll be pre-sold pre-entries, every entry we hold. Also, your entries will be taken, over the phone. We'll spin it. We'll contact you once we see who's on the spin wheel. We'll contact you. And then you can say, yeah, I want it, or no, I don't. And then if you don't, we'll move to the next person on the wheel or whatever. So you'll just have to see how we do it. When we do it, it'll be done on Facebook, so everybody can see it. One of the things that I did want to touch on, just so you're aware, we talked about this first event, first place paying $20,000. The second place guy that's going to be out there, just so you know, before you enter this event, at no circumstances at any time will there ever be an agreement that we will split the pot. We want the best dog to win. We want that dog taking home the prize. And you can read that in our rules that there will be no agreement to split prizes. So we think that's the fair thing to do for the hunter. There's going to be a final two anyway. So
Yeah, that's right.
there's going to be a winner no matter what. I think we've already covered about the leash lock, no leash lock. All judges will be non-hunting judges. Each handler may have and I think we need to touch on this, each handler may have a backup handler or spectator on the cast, either one, backup handler or spectator. And we have a total of 2 per handler. And the rest of the stuff's kind of self-explanatory. You can kind of read through there and see what it is. We've touched on scoring, and we've touched on cast staying together. And when we say cast stay together, this, just so we're clear, we want to make sure you understand that if you take a handler, if you're the handler and you take a backup handler with you, or you take a spectator with you, or there's a cameraman, you all will stay together. There's no spectator saying, I'm going to stay at the truck. Once you commit, you're there. So all cast stay together. That will eliminate any confusion.
On this cast staying together thing is, there's other reasons for that too. We're going to, we're going to allow thermals,
Cell phone cameras.
cell phone cameras. If you want to take a video, you can video.
Yeah. Here, I've got it right here, scoring
Well, I was
aids.
looking for it. Yeah.
Binoculars, cell phone cameras, mirrors are all permitted devices to score trees. No climbing or disturbing a place of refuge. Thermals and pointed lasers are permitted devices to be used for locating purposes only. Coon must still be seen with naked eye, unless it's with the camera, in the holler or mirror or whatever. But you're still seeing the coon through the phone or through the mirror or whatever. And of course, we're gonna allow thermals. The biggest thing here with that is we want to be able to plus these dogs up if there's a way possible to do it. Sometimes there just ain't no way possible to do it. The holler's too high, or you can't get to it to see, or you can't squall it out, or whatever. We want to make sure that every dog that's in one of our events is having the most opportunity to score plus points at possible.
Yeah, there's been, how many times have you guys, tree on a den and there was a big old, there was a hole down there, you couldn't get your head in it. I had it happen to me at an URQE out in Oklahoma just a couple of years ago, and after we circled the tree, the guy in the cast said, he said, if you want, I don't care if you want to shine your phone up in there, we called time out and was going to move. He said, if you just want to know whether your dog's got a coon or not, you want to stick your camera up there and take a picture of it, and he had the coon. So, in that event, you could benefit right there. If I could have done that then and had the coon, I would have won my cast. The gentleman, he'd probably be listening here, I think he'll remember the situation. I won't mention his name, but anyways, it would have been a big deal. It'd have been better. So we're going to give every dog and handler every way to score that tree, and if that dog's got a coon, it's going to get plussed up. I mean,
Yeah.
It's just going to be a real common sense way to go.
Yeah, and that's what we guys, we really have tried hard to take any nonsense out of it, and make sure that we're doing what's the best for the dog, because we want the best dog to win. I mean, when we hold this event down here in Batesville and we hand that first place check to somebody, I want to feel confident that we're giving that check to the dog that deserves it.
That's right.
So, I think we've hit on all of at least the meat and potatoes of the rules anyway. There may be a few little things in there. Is there something else any of y'all see that we need to hit on?
No, I don't guess. They'll be posted on the Facebook page anyway. They can go on and look at them if they got anything else they want to look at.
Yeah, so I know we've covered a lot here. One of the things, that we keep trying to drive the point home of, we want the best dog to win this hunt. We want it to be fair for everybody. One thing, is, we want sportsmanship in our events, and we want to talk about some unsportsmanlike conduct here for just a second. And Chuck, I think you were going to discuss that.
Well, that's the biggest point of having non-hunting judges. These guys and these judges, mostly the judges, the guides too, I will say that for them, the ones that'll be picked. But these are going to be men of integrity that they're going to call it exactly like they say it. We want the best dog to win. I know these guys that we'll have here for these judges will do exactly their job and call it just like they see it.
Right.
And that's the main thing of this whole deal, is letting the main dog win.
Yeah, and we know sometimes, in the heat of the moment you get upset and tempers flare, but we're just asked that everybody try to keep that under control the best you can, and because we don't want to have to go down that road with somebody if they do get out of line, and that's our main deal with this. We want this fair for everybody. If there's an older gentleman or a woman out there that enjoys coon hunting, like we talked about the driving the dogs that are treed, we want them to be able to compete in this event if they've got a dog they think they can.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've been at it for a long time, but we've been talking on this thing for 46 minutes. So, I know we've all got time and energy tied up into this, and trying to get this up and going. And I know I appreciate it. I know you guys do too. And I'm excited to get this first one up and going and get it done for sure. Y'all got anything y'all want to add before we click her off here, or y'all think we're good? Or
I think we pretty much covered it. We've done this thing about as fast as we could do it, from people calling in and putting all the entries in the wheel and picking them at random to go on this thing. That way everybody gets a chance to get in it. Doing a spin wheel for 2 chances. That way the little man, the lower class man, can get a chance to get in it. To being able to drive to the tree, if possible, for the older guys to be able to try to get in this thing. So I think we pretty much covered all the bases and done it as fast as we know how to do it.
Brett, you always got something to say. What you got to say now? You good?
I think I'm actually good. Yeah, I'm kind of lost for words at this point.
Got anything
We've
to it?
covered about everything.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that comment anyway?
Well, you just always got something to say. I just figured you had something to say.
I will say something else that impressed me about on actually guiding those calves for PKC. Those guys, they wasn't out there just competing for a trophy.
Yeah.
Those guys are out there competing for a truck.
Yeah.
And what impressed me a lot, I know in every kennel club or most everything you do in life now, you're going to have a little trouble somewhere. But my experience hunting with PKC and those guys, they got along real good. they were men of integrity and had a lot of class, and that's what my experience. That's what I loved about it, and makes me want to be more a part of that.
Yeah, right.
And then, like I said, I'm just in search of a dog to get on that level.
Yeah.
And one day I'm gonna get there.
Yeah. Well, and I agree with you. I mean, I hunt both. I hunt UKC and PKC, and I don't have the money or the dog to hunt pro sport right now, but unless Brett wants to.
I don't think I do either. What do you mean?
I think
Well, I
got it.
thought maybe you wanted to kick in some money and
okay.
and me and David would take 2 dogs and we'll go try to win a truck or something that we can drive around. We'll put KOKC on the side of the truck, and drive around.
Well, I ain't gonna knock on my dogs like I'm knocking on yours. I believe I got 2 pretty nice chips, but I don't have the money, or I done been in pro sport. I think what them guys has got going on is real nice, and PKC as well. And you know, I know there's other people out there the same way, so that's what I like about this spin wheel deal. So maybe one day I'll get the money, I can go up there and play with them a little bit.
It's definitely somebody's that wins those too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've been thinking about scenarios and stuff like, you know, if a guy bought an entry for $50 and had a chance, won the entry
And won the hunt.
and when he goes into when he gets entered and he gets an entry, and then we are going to spin for every entry to draw this brand new dog box, wins the dog box, and then turns around and wins the whole hunt. I mean,
Yeah.
now that'd be cool. You know, I was just thinking about different scenarios, but I thought, you know, how neat that would be. But and I'm kind of always for the underdog.
And then take about half of that and go up there and enter a pro sport hunt and win that some.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. You know, and that would just tickle me if that would happen. I mean, I mean there's a lot of guys that pay big entries that's got good dogs, but I also know there's a lot of guys out there that can't pay big entries that got good dogs
For
too.
sure,
So
100%.
Sometimes all a man needs is just a little bit of help.
Yep. Just catch a break here or there, for sure. Well, I think we pretty much hit it. Unless y'all.
Yeah, you got your little machine smoking over there.
Yeah, I know. my brain's been smoking for a while, so unless y'all got anything else, I think we can. Unless y'all want to talk about dogs or something, I think we can kick
We
her
always
off
talk
here.
about dogs. We might want to turn that off though after last
Talk
night's
about how me and
performance.
Jason Snellgrove smoked y'all last night.
Yeah, no kidding. We probably need to turn that off now, don't we?
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you tuning in to this episode of the Coonhound Collective podcast. We hope you enjoyed it, and again, we want to thank Nathan Kaufman with CZ Welding and Custom Doll Boxes for not only sponsoring this event, but also sponsoring this podcast. And we also want to thank Michael Roseman with Sunspot Lights for stepping up already, and anybody else that we end up pulling in here as we move along and get closer to this hunt. We appreciate y'all too. So thank y'all for listening, and
I want to do another shout out to Tyler Moore
Yeah,
for letting us
thank
hold
you.
our first event here. He's, like I said, he's an awesome guy. He said he was going to come and hang out with everybody on our first event, and y'all enjoy.
yeah, y'all get an entry and get to come down here and see this. This is a nice place, and we definitely appreciate him making this available to us to be able to get in on that weekend. So thank you so
Are we
much.
gonna go hunt now and give me and Chuck a chance to redeem?
Yeah, I guess so. I
Selves tonight?
guess we'll see if you can catch up. You're in the hole, so.
We got to put $50 in the hat on this one.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, I'm broke even, man. My dog didn't open her mouth.
All right, we're out.
Thanks, guys, for listening to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you don't mind, head over to Facebook and give us a like, and head over to Instagram and give us a follow. It's both at the Coonhound Collective. Also, if you would like to reach us here at the Coonhound Collective, you can reach us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. If there's someone that you would like to hear on the podcast or a product that you would like to hear talked about, please send it to thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Thanks again. Have a great day.